Audience, I've but one question for you as I begin my presentation tonight. And that question is, what's up? Up, 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 up. I don't want you to answer this question, but I do want you to join me on a little journey of the mind as we consider this question at some length. For generations, the question, what's up, has been the primary means in this civilization of ours to inquire into the general state of things. At any given time or place, when someone wants to know what's happening, what's going down, what's shaken, 10 times out of 10, our species turns to this question, what's up? It is, at first glance, a humble question. Just look at it. It's so simple, so pure, 2 syllables long. But when given a second glance, or a third, or perhaps even a fourth glance, one senses an inherent profundity. For to pose the question, what's up, is to open the door to a world of possible answers, a galaxy of potential responses. From that perspective, what's up is a bedrock of free speech, of democracy as we know it. So you can see how absurd it is that for as long as this question has existed, the go-to answer, 10 times out of 10, is not much. What in the literal what? Not much? My friends, the time has come. It's time to abolish answering the question, what's up, with not much. And I say this for one simple reason. It's just not true. It never has been true. It never will be true. And it's not true right now. And I want to focus on that third point, the fact that it's not true right now. Chandler, could you ask me a question?
Any question?
Well, a relevant one.
Ike, how are you feeling right now?
Try again.
What's up?
Not much. Didn't play well, did it? Ask me one more time.
Ike, what's up?
I'm looking at a room filled with people. People sitting on chairs. They seem to be folding chairs made out of wood from some kind of a tree. I wonder what tree the wood is from. Is it from a forest that's near here? Could I take a train there? Isn't it marvelous that one can take trains from one point to another place? And choo-choo. Children are still learning how to say choo-choo. But many children don't take trains at all. Will children always be learning that trains go choo-choo? What happens when trains stop going choo-choo? Will we simply say the train goes... Audience, I think you can see that to say not much is to close yourself up to the great opportunities that exist in every single moment. Now, it's not enough to abolish not much. I do want to leave you and propose a simple alternative, and that is this. Replace not much with much. Now, I'm sure you're looking at me and thinking to yourself, Ike, you're absolutely crazy. That's absolutely bonkers. My father said not much. My grandfather said not much. My great-great-grandfather said not. Replace it with, but how was that even possible? Well, I've taken the liberty of preparing a revised baseline script for social interactions, and it's this. As you can see, person A will still say, what's up, much as before. But now, person B will say, much. Can we practice that all together now? I'll be person A, and you'll all will be person B. I'll give you a moment to get into character. There you are. Now, what's up?
Much.
Very good. Now, I want to put this into a real-world example. So that you won't be surprised when you go out into the world and start practicing this new script. Now, I look at this exchange and I see two people who are finally living their truth. I see people who are acknowledging the bigness of existence. I even sense that person A and person B are falling in love with each other. It's based on this that I say, no more with not much. And I yield the rest of my time back to the proceedings which we are engaged in. I'm done with my argument.
Okay! Follow you, everybody!
I feel like you could have gotten that across in like 10 seconds.
I think the exhaustive of your argument was, of course, beautiful. But I also think if you had just got up and said it in maybe one or two words or a sentence, then we would all have like more time on our hands to hang out afterwards. And so sometimes brevity just is the answer, Ike. Your name even is an opportunity for brevity. You have a long one, but you like the short one because it's easy. Not much to much. Oh, wait, I'm actually saying your thing.
Oh my God, what are they gonna say next? I bet you're thinking. Well, you can find out by subscribing to Nebula. If you do that, you can see the full response of the political establishment to this argument.
If you're going home and looking at a dictionary to improve conversation, your real answer is not much.
Yeah.
And see a full second set from this abolitionist abolishing something completely different. And you can get all that and more by subscribing to Nebula, a creator-owned and operated streaming service with early, original, and exclusive content from some of your favorite creators. And not only that, you'll get to see every single episode of this show, Abolish Everything, which you just spent several minutes watching. Imagine what it would be like to watch it for hours and hours and hours. Oh my God, how much would you pay to be able to do this? Probably like $1 million, right? Well, here's the truth. If you go to go.nebula.tv/abolish, you can get 40% off an annual subscription. That is $3 a month. And what can you get for $3? A trip on the bus? Does that sound more fun than watching this show? I don't think so, although I do support public transportation, as do many of the creators on Nebula. So check us out, go.nebula.tv/abolish for every single episode of Abolish Everything and so much more. Thank you very much.